Hello and welcome to week 38 for science. This is Tuesday, June 1st, 2021. By the end of this lesson, the students will learn about the similarities and differences between mother animals and their babies. Now let's look at an article about baby birds. It says these blue eggs are coming from a robin's nest and they will soon hatch. What will they look like? Baby birds have hatched and here they are. They are smaller and fuzzier than their mother and they cannot fly. But do they resemble, which means looks like, their mom? You can tell the babies and the mommies are robins because a lot of things look alike, but are there any things that are different? If you look, see how in the mommy's feathers the colors are separate? Like there's a orange color here and a black color back here. The baby's feathers look like the colors are more mixed. It looks like their heads may be a little bit longer. The babies are much smaller and they cannot feed themselves. So it says list the ways baby birds are different from the mother bird. They're smaller, feathers are more colorful, and as I said before, they cannot feed themselves. Let's look at this picture of the koala and its baby. Those of you who know me know that koalas are my absolute favorite animal. I love koalas. I think that they are adorable. And it says a young koala looks like its parent. This is the parent. This is the young koala. Here's a fact about koalas. Koalas are actually related to the family of the kangaroo. And they when they're born, when they're teeny tiny, they ride around and the front mommy has a pouch, which is kind of like a pocket. And that's what the baby rides in until they're too big. And then they come out of the pouch and they quite often ride on the mommy's back. These are koalas. Does the baby koala look like the adult? Yes, it does. Do all baby animals look like their parents? All baby animals have some shapes or features that look something like their parent, but some baby animals, it takes them a while to develop and grow to look more and more like their parent. Let's look at this picture of the swan and its babies. How can you tell that these babies right here belong to this swan? Well, these babies are don't want to leave the mommy. They're really close, and she's watching, and she's keeping close to them. And it also looks like some of them might be feeding off of her. If you found a baby walking by itself and you wanted to find a baby animal and you wanted to find its mother, what would you look for? Well, you'd look for animals that might be similar in shape, similar in their features, an animal that was watching the baby, because mommies always are trying to watch their babies. And mommy would be close by. Let's look at the life cycle of a panda. So you see a newborn panda, and some kids were telling me yesterday that looks like a gerbil. This is a 3-week-old panda, and look at this 3-week-old. Even at 3 weeks old, it looks a lot like the adult. It has the same colors, the same shape in the eyes, the mouth. This is a 3-month-old panda, and this is a 1-year-old panda. It says that as it gets older, it grows up to a year old and looks more and more like its parent. See, when it's 3 weeks old, it doesn't have its ears aren't defined like the 3-month-old or the year-old, but it still looks a lot like the adult. And at 3 months old, it looks a lot like the adult. It's just much, much smaller. It's the same color fur, same body parts. And it says, what other animal babies do you think look like their parents? Well, I know a lot of puppies look like their parents. They may not be the same color, but they have the same shape eyes, the same shape ears, same shape paws. Kittens look like their parents. Baby birds, a lot of them, they have the same shape eyes, the same shape beaks. Baby bunnies look just like their mommies, except that they may be different color. Other animals too look a lot. Baby snakes look like their mommies. Baby alligators are just tiny. They look like their mommies. This is a young anteater right here. It's a circle the picture that shows the adult anteater. Well, the adult anteater is here. If you look, the baby has this like flap back here for an ear, and the mommy has the same thing right here. The baby also has this long nose. The mommy's nose is even longer, but you can definitely see that they look very similar, the baby and the mommy. It says compare body coverings. This says that the raccoon has fur, dark black fur around its eyes, and then gray fur around its body. So the young raccoon looks very much like the adult raccoon, except it's obviously much, much smaller. Then you look at the baby chicken, and it's yellow fur, yellow feathers, excuse me. And then the adult chicken you see is a different color. So it'll grow, and when it ages, it becomes more and more like the adult. It says, do raccoon and chickens have the same type of body covering? And the answer is no, because raccoons have fur and chickens have feathers. It says, observe each animal, then draw a line to match each parent animal to its young. Well, this is the adult lizard. Here's the baby. This is the adult turtle, and we know that it matches the baby because they both have shells, that their head is the same shape. And then we have the adult skunk and the baby skunk. And if you look, the adult and the baby look very, very, very much alike, except that the baby skunk is smaller. What are some ways that the baby animals may be different than their parents? Well, they may not be the same color. They may be smaller, and they may have different markings on their shell. So this is a baby turtle, and the markings look darker than the adult. Okay, let's look at some slides that tell about animals and their babies. How can I imagine an animal parent to its baby using a physical description as an explanation? Physical description of what they look like. Who is the parent of this little tiny creature here? Tell how you know. I know right away this is a bird because I can see the beak and I can see a wing and I can see the little claws right here. So my choices are an octopus or an owl. My guess is that the adult animal would be the owl. Also, look at the eyes. See how the eyes are very similar to the adult and the baby? So we picked the owl. Sometimes baby animals don't look exactly like their parents, but they do have some features that are the same, like their beak, their eyes, and the two legs. And as they grow older, they will look more and more like their parent. Who is the parent in this situation? This is a baby, the puppy, and here we have a dog, and we have a snake. Well, if you look at the dog, first of all, the color of the fur is very similar, but that doesn't mean a dog can have puppies that are different color. But look at the shape of the nose, the shape of the eyes, the shape of the ears. Looks very, very much like the adult dog, the shape of the face. So the puppy's adult would be the dog right here. And I chose the dog because the dog looks very, very similar. The nose, the mouth, the eyes, the fur, it's very similar to the puppies, which are baby dogs. Who is the parent here? Think of two different ways you know. This is a lamb. You see how it has fur? This is a deer, and this is a sheep. Well, you can see how this is like a fluffy fur on the lamb. If you look at the sheep, it's got fluffy fur too. And look at the shape of the ears. The shape of the ears are very, very much alike. The shape of the nose, the shape of the mouth, the shape of the eyes, they look very, very much alike. The sheep looks much, much bigger, and it looks like it has more fur. But as the lamb gets older, it will look more and more like the sheep. Who is the parent here? We have a baby turtle. Now you notice a turtle has arms and legs and a tail, and it also has a shell. It has a rounded head. This is a dolphin. It looks nothing like the baby turtle. There's no arms and legs. This is an adult turtle. It has arms and legs and a tail and a shell and the same shaped head. So this is the parent. It looks very much like the baby turtle. This is Name the Animal. This is a baby gorilla. This is an adult gorilla. Babies often ride on the backs of adult gorillas, usually mommies or daddies. So this is a baby penguin, and it is so cute. But it looks so much like its shape of the face, its arms. I mean, its wings, its little feet looks very much like the adult, except it's much, much smaller. And baby penguins have gray feathers. Adult penguins have white. So as this baby penguin grows older, it will look more. Its fur will change color, and it will look more and more like the baby. I mean, like the adult penguin. This is a baby meerkat. This is a meerkat family. This baby meerkat looks very, very much like the adult. The biggest difference is that the baby is much, much smaller. But its color of its fur, its shape of its eyes, its nose, its head, its um, claws are the same as the adult. Baby. It says you are an animal too, and you have an adult woman and a baby to match her, an adult man and a baby to match him, and an adult woman and a baby to match her. And how are they alike and how are they different? Well, they have a lot of similar features in their faces and the coloring and their body coloring. And as they grow older, they will look more like the adults. Let's watch a video about animals and their babies. I think this video actually is really, really cute.
Animals and their mother. A baby chimpanzee is called an infant.
And the baby looks very much like the mother. You see how much smaller the baby is?
A baby hippo is called a calf.
See, the big thing here is the baby hippo looks a lot like the mommy, but the baby is much, much smaller. They stay in the water because they have really dry skin and they want to make sure it doesn't crack.
Flamingo is called a chick.
And one thing that's very interesting about a baby flamingo is the baby flamingo's feathers are white, whereas an adult flamingo's feathers are pink.
A baby warthog is called a piglet.
A warthog is a member of the pig family. A baby pig is called a piglet.
A baby gorilla is called an infant.
And again, here's the baby, and the baby looks very much like the mommy, but much, much smaller.
A baby elephant is called a calf.
Look how much this baby elephant looks like the mommy. It's just much, much smaller.
A baby giraffe is called a calf.
And that's the same thing with a giraffe. The giraffe looks very much like the adult, but it's just smaller in all its size.
A baby wallaby is called a joey.
A wallaby looks a lot like a kangaroo, and a baby kangaroo and a baby wallaby are called joeys. Very, very young babies live inside mommy's pouch, and when they get too big for that, they live outside of mommy's pouch. You see, that's where he's going right now. I think he can feed from mommy's pouch.
A baby donkey is called a foal.
Baby horses are called foals, and a donkey is part of the horse family, so that would be why it is called a foal. Oh, look at the baby donkey.
A baby koala is called a joey.
And again, a baby koala is related to the kangaroo, so mommy holds the baby koala in her pouch until the baby gets too big, and then the baby comes out of the pouch.
A baby mouse is called a pinky.
when the baby is born, it doesn't have any fur, so it looks pink, and that's why it's called a pinky. And that's the mommy mouse trying to clean off the baby.
A baby beluga is called a calf.
A beluga is a whale. And see if we can look really carefully. There's the mommy and the baby. This is the mommy right here, and it looks like there's maybe two babies.
A baby bird is called a chick.
Okay, here's the baby. Look how much smaller, and then this is the adult.
A baby cow is called a calf.
And again, the babies look very much like the adults, just much, much smaller.
A baby chicken is called a chick.
Now these babies are a totally different color. And as they grow, they look more and more like their adult parents.
A baby duck is called a duckling. A baby goose is called a gosling.
You see how the babies are fluffy, the fluffy fur?
A baby Angora goat is called a kid.
It looks very, very much like its mother too. It's different colors. So there's two of them. There's two babies. Mommy's trying to clean the baby, and the baby's
A baby goat is called a kid.
Those are babies. Two of them right there. Two baby goats.
A baby pygmy goat is called a kid.
Oh, look how cute they are. They're kind of climbing on mommy. She's right there watching over them.
A baby horse is called a foal.
You see, this baby horse has got the same color as mommy, but the same shape. Looks very, very much like
A
mommy.
baby rabbit is called a bunny.
See, here's the mommy and here's the baby. Mommies usually have lots of babies, rabbits.
A baby tortoise is called a hatchling.
See, look how much smaller the baby turtles are than the mommy turtle.
A baby llama is called a cria.
And see, again, the baby looks very, very much like the mommy. It's just smaller.
A baby sheep is called a lamb.
Look at this. Look at the lambs. They're so cute. And mom is trying to clean them.
And a baby yak is called a calf.
And again, the baby yak looks very much like the adult, just smaller and maybe a different color.
Boys and girls, you are smarter.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed this lesson on animal adults and their babies. And I hope you enjoyed this video about animals animals and their mother, baby animals and their mothers. Remember to complete your science independent activity. And as always, thank you for watching.